I'm at war with it, but it's hard to let it go.
Okay, everybody, it's safe to assume that Bungie is really doing their best to give us a solid PvP experience in Destiny 2. Sticky grenades and shoulder charge isn't a one-hit kill anymore, meleeing isn't as powerful, and alongside the plethora of other things that would take me months to list off, which I'm not about to do. However, Destiny 2's PvP won't be truly perfect if we still have different PvP metas to deal with. The only reason why I'm even bringing up PvP metas is because we saw a little bit of it in the Destiny 2 beta in the form of the Nightshade and to a lesser extent the Nurgle PR4. It's almost safe to assume that since all weapons in Destiny 2 will have static talent trees, we'll more than likely have hundreds of weapons to collect, which will hopefully introduce a lot of weapon variety in the Crucible, alongside the fact that the time to kill in Destiny 2 has been drastically slowed down to the point where 1v1 gunfights are a lot more infrequent. The only concern that I have with the static talent trees is that, I mean, we gotta keep it real here. There'll be some weapons that are inevitably better than others, and there won't really be anything that you can do about it aside from finding a different weapon to use. Food for thought. A PvP meta derives from the combination of the obvious lack of individuality in the Destiny community and the majority of the PvP player populace sharing the same desire to be at the peak of their competitiveness. So at that point in time, everyone goes on the same journey to find out what the most competitive weapon is, and then we have a meta. A lot of it is word of mouth too, because it's a normal human nature to discover the power of a weapon that you never used before or is just completely new and tell your friends about it. You know, it's pretty much monkey see, monkey do. The concept of a meta is just a terrible concept as a whole, and is completely detrimental to the health and stability of the Crucible. These phases in the Crucible will cause players to either stop playing Crucible as a whole, or force players to feel as if they don't have a choice but to use the same weapon in order to compete. Well, the same weapon as everybody else is using, or what's most dominant. And that's just bad, because at that point in time, you're pretty much trying to keep up with the Joneses and forfeiting your individuality as a whole. It's almost like these different metas will make people feel as if they have to live up to some sort of standard or expectation. Now, to be 100% honest with you, it really doesn't bother me that much if everybody's using the same guns, because I adhere so strongly to my individuality that I'll always be using something different. But unfortunately, that's never worked in Destiny's PvP, because due to the reasons that I previously stated, and you'll get punished for being an individual or being different, as opposed to being rewarded for it. And that cannot happen in Destiny 2 if they want a healthy PvP experience, or if they want to give us a healthy PvP experience. Let's take a trip down to Destiny 1 memory lane for a second. In the final PvP balance patch of Destiny 1, the Clever Dragon archetype of pulse rifles and shotguns as a whole got nerfed. And I know you guys remember this. Special ammo economy was changed drastically. I swear, the moment that patch went live, I saw more weapon usage variety, or weapon variety usage, however you want to say it, in the Crucible that I never thought I'd see again. But the only problem that came out of this is that sidearms, the icebreaker, and sticky grenades became very dominant in the Crucible. The reason why is because sidearms always spawn with a single magazine of ammo, the icebreaker replenishes ammo over time, and sticky grenades were a one-shot kill, which replaced the one-shot capability of shotguns and other one-hit kill potential weapons. It's basically like they found something that was just as powerful and started using that, which that's how sticky grenades came to be so popular. Basically, people improvise new ways to be cheap and uncreative with their when their best tools get taken from them. In other words, it's definitely safe to say that when one thing gets nerfed, the community will rush to a new bandwagon, and that's just plain pathetic. And I really don't like using that word, but each meta is literally and essentially the same thing as a bandwagon. Now let me contradict myself for a quick second when I said that it doesn't bother me when everyone is using the same gun, because it can, at times though. And I say this because it's repetitious to look at the kill feed and see that you've been getting killed by the same weapon over and over again. And if multiple people are using it, it just gets tiresome and boring to deal with. When a clever dragon was the most dominant weapon in Destiny 1's Crucible, I was playing a lot of Trials of Osiris at the time, and I already knew what my enemy team's loadouts were without even inspecting their characters. And that same mindset of accustoming myself to monotony is the same thing I think when I'm getting killed by the same gun over and over again. But if only 1 or 2 people on the enemy team are using a particular weapon that may be dominant at that point in time, then it's all good. I really don't care. It's only when everybody on the enemy team is doing the same exact thing. But a lot of the changes with Destiny 2's weapon system were implemented to preclude problems like this. So hopefully Bungie has a lot of interesting things in store for us, because monotony isn't a part of the Destiny experience. But that's gonna do it for right now, people. I'll catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.